Hey guys, how's it going? Kagoroke in here. Um, just wanted to do a brief comparison for you guys for the Xbox One controllers that I've actually had the pleasure to use and also get for Christmas gifts. I put in a lot of time with all these controllers and just figured I'd do a comparison for you guys here at TDC. You guys have been great community for me, so I figured I'd give back in at least in this way because not a lot of people have, at least as far as I've seen, they've done a lot of helpful things. But comparison for controllers for your hardware would actually help out a little bit too. So I figured I'd do that for you guys today. So, first controller is the regular Microsoft controller. Nothing special about it here, just a regular one. It is the one that comes with the a 3.5 audio jack, as you can see right there. I'm really happy that they did that for this. I guess you can call it generation, but I'll just say this season of controllers. Um, I'm really happy that they did that because using adapters for that stuff actually was kind of hindering. And for using third-party controllers, they didn't have any 3.5 audio jacks last season for any of those controllers. So to use a headset with that, you'd have to actually use a wireless controller, plug that in, and then use the adapter for that controller to use a good headset, and then played with your wired controller if you wanted to. But then at that point, you just end up using your regular Microsoft controller, which is kind of what they wanted to do. And I can understand the, I guess you can say the business aspect of that. But I'm really happy that they switched to that, and that also not just the Microsoft controllers, but the third-party controllers as well also come with those 3.5 audio jacks. So that is a step up that they did, and I really did enjoy that. Um, but yeah, Microsoft controller, nothing really special about it at all besides that jack. Um, and that's about it. So let's move on to the next one. The next one is the PowerA Pro Tournament controller. This controller I had the pleasure of using for quite a while. I got it in November, and it was kind of an early Christmas gift. By kind of, I mean a month, like a little bit over a month. But I have put a lot of hours with this controller. I used the Pro Tournament controller for 360, and in comparison between the two, I would definitely say this is kind of a step up in some aspects. Not definitely not all of them. I would definitely give it in between those two controllers, the PowerA Tournament from 360 to Xbox One. I will give definitely this one an 8 out of 10. That's only in that comparison though. In the comparison to the controllers now, this one I would definitely give a 7, 7.5 out of 10. And that's only because there is one better controller, which is that guy over there, and I'll get into that guy in a second. But this controller here, it comes with the four programmable buttons on the back. My lighting isn't really too good in this room, but I'll still see if I can show you guys. Uh, you guys probably still see it. There you go. Um, these two buttons, they're kind of flushed into the controller, so they don't stick out. So it's not really in the way, but at the same time, it's harder to press. So, and actually, this button up here, whenever you're holding that controller, it's a little bit uncomfortable to try to press. So I would say, if anything, just as a tip for this controller, just use your middle finger and interchange whenever you need. Use the bottom ones for what you really want to use. For me, it is the left analog click on the left of the controller, and B on the right of the controller. I use that for Destiny for the evade step, for a shade step, I guess you can call it, what it's called for the perk. But these guys, I'll either leave those blank or I'll program them to something that I don't need to hit every time, like X or Y, um, for reload and all that stuff. The thumbsticks are really big. They're huge. Very, very hard to slip off of. Very easy to control. Um, and I love those. I love that PowerA always did that for their tournament controllers. I'm glad that they kept that as a feature for this one. And it does have programmable lighting in the back, or I guess not programmable, customizable lighting in the back for that V shape here. And also behind the analog sticks, you can change it to at least 13 different colors if I'm not mistaken, and it's really cool. You can actually change it to fade, to stop change, or to instant change for the colors in the back, and you can set them to a different color for the V as well as the analog sticks. You don't have to keep them the same color, so it's very customizable and personalizable, which is something that I really like. I thought that that was really cool that they did. Um, yeah, it's just overall a really nice controller. Also, it does have the trigger stops. If you guys can see those two spaces there with those little small handles, the TL and TR, those are the trigger stops. Um, it is very nice, but they do feel kind of flimsy on the inside, especially when you're pulling the trigger and you're holding on that trigger for a while. You can definitely feel it kind of bend. So I would definitely say be careful with that. If you're going hard on the controller, like if you play aggressive, kind of like I do, it is something to watch out for and to deal with. But overall, the controller is very nice. I really like this controller. It is a great alternative if you can't get the Xbox One Elite. But if you can, I would say definitely go for the Elite because it is a very, very good controller to have, and I'll get into why in a second. But if you need an alternative, this one is good. It's on sale right now for $59.99 at GameStop, and I think that might change pretty soon. But yeah, definitely a good controller to have. Next one up is the coup de grace, the holy grail, the Xbox One Elite controller. As you guys probably already know, a lot of you probably already researched this or got it as a gift for Christmas also. Um, it has the interchangeable analog sticks. You can keep it to this normal size that Microsoft gives, or you can change it to the next size up, which is a convex, if I'm saying that correctly. Um, yeah, convex analog stick, which is a little bit higher as well. Um, Kind of like the power or the PlayStation 4 analog sticks, which is kind of cool. But they kind of feel weird to me because I'm used to playing Xbox, so I'm used to the concave analog sticks. And then you can go the next size up from that, which are really really tall and almost as I want to say the same size as Control Freaks, and they're convex as well. The width of it, or I guess you can say diameter of it, are all pretty much the same size. Very easy to change out. And I'll show you that really quickly. Just pop it right off. You can just take it off, no screws or anything like that. And it's magnetic, so all you have to do is just drop it and it links back on. Very easy. And that's for anything interchangeable on this controller. The D-pad, which I really like this D-pad, very good for fighting games. I saw. I've actually played Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, and I actually loved it a lot when you switch this when you use this D-pad. The only thing I didn't like about this is that the D-pad that they give along with it in its case, it is very interchangeable. Let's see if I can just pop it off here real quick. As you guys can see there, um, the D-pad will not flush along with it, which kind of annoyed me. But at the same time, I could see why they wanted you to pretty much use this D-pad because it's a really nice feature for it. Um, I'll show you guys really quickly. You guys haven't seen the back fully. It does have the paddles on the back. The longer ones for me are a little bit uncomfortable, so I just use the shorter ones because I'm used to. Um, I kind of have long fingers, so I'm used to just kind of hitting buttons that are kind of far away. So I'll use these shorter paddles and I'll just interchange them to top or bottom whenever I need. It does have the trigger stops as well. I'd say that they're a little bit better made, especially in comparison to the Pro Tournament controller. But it is really nice. The color is amazing. It's very beautiful. It does have the grips on the bottom of the controller as well. I'll actually give you guys a show of that too. Let's see if I can get good lighting of it. You guys can see the ribbing there. It kind of looks like carbon fiber a little bit, but it isn't. It's just that rubberized grip, and it feels really nice as well. I never slip off this controller ever, and I have really sweaty palms, so whenever I play, and it is really nice whenever I'm just playing with it and nothing falls out. I don't slip off of anything for the controller. So yeah, that's the comparison. I would definitely say if you guys wanted the alternative to the Xbox One Microsoft controllers, the PowerA or the Elite, either or would be a good choice. If I had to compare between the PowerA and the Elite controller, I would definitely say go Elite. You can go wireless or wired, which is your choice. It also has that 3.5 audio jack, which is also really cool. Um, but if you needed the alternative to the Elite controller because you either didn't have enough or didn't have or couldn't find any in stock, the PowerA Pro Tournament controller is a good fit. If you're playing far away from your TV, you can always get an extender, which are really really cheap to get. Um, but it is a 9 foot cable, and so does the Xbox One Elite controller. Also has a 9 foot cable as well. But if you want to play wireless, I can understand why. But the PowerA Pro Tournament controller is a good alternative. So yeah, that's the comparison. Thank you guys for watching, and thank you guys for being a great community. We'll see you in the stars, especially on Destiny. Peace.